Hello, everyone. Um, Very good morning to you. Since it's weekend, you all joined this conference. Thank you so much. And I would like to thank Pune Tech community for giving me an wonderful opportunity to be part of .conf Pune 2022. Uh, and without much delay, let's get started. So today, as Siddharth and organizer said that if you are in this event for the full time and win exiting prize. Okay, so today we are going to see about what is .NET MAUI and how we can build our first application using .NET MAUI. Myself, Sundaram Subramanian, I am working as a lead software developer in a leading company in Kerala. As a lead developer, I used to work mostly in the backend technologies like developing web APIs, and administrating the SQL databases and all. Apart from that, I used to learn as of my self-learning. I used to learn from various sources, and I would like to share my knowledge in my tech blog, which is Learn with Sundar. So you can also follow here. And I used to write articles in various tech stacks, so you can learn from the categories as well. Okay, and yeah, sometimes used to speak in communities as well, but not as like many other speakers. I'm very as a speaker, my contributions are very less. But yeah, I used to write a lot. Yeah, that's it about myself. Then let's get into the session. So today's agenda, we are going to cover mainly three things. Okay, what is .NET MAUI, and what type of applications we can build using this tech. And I will be giving a very small demo, which will be motivating you to get started with .NET MAUI. Okay, so without much delay, first let's see what is .NET MAUI. Okay, so .NET MAUI. From this itself, we can understand that something related to .NET framework. Okay, so we can create a native mobile app and desktop applications with C# and YAML technologies. And this is a cross-platform framework which is developed by Microsoft, and it is named as .NET MAUI. And what does MAUI stands for? MAUI stands for Multiple Platform Application UI. So which gives a little bit idea. Okay, there is something which we can develop with C# and YAML, or with C# alone or YAML alone, and that can be used as a multiple platform application. So with this itself, many of you have guessed what it could be. Yes, with a single code base, we can develop applications. Okay. Which type of applications? We can develop applications like mobile apps and desktop apps for Android, iOS, Windows, and Mac. Okay, so we can develop multiple applications for Android, iOS, Windows, and Mac OS from a single code base, which is pretty cool, right? And it doesn't mean that this is the first technology which we are going to use a single code base for multiple platforms. This is not the first technology. Already we have React and many other tech stacks. But what excites us is being a .NET developer, we will be working in a back server based concepts, right? We'll be writing codes using C#, F#, okay, or VB.NET. For a developer as like me, okay, learning a front end framework like JS, or it's an extra effort, or else it's something which may not be a very handy one, because already I will be much familiar in the server side programming, and getting into the front end will be bit difficult, or it may be a time consuming, or it's I need to put a lot of efforts. Okay, as a developer it is thing. In terms of organization, okay, what if they have to build an application? For example, they have one requirement where they have to build uh, native Android, they have to build native iOS application. So as per the organization terms, they have to hire at least three tech stacks people, right? They have to hire one API guy, they have to hire one iOS developer, they have to hire one Android developer. So, so from the organization perspective, if you know .NET MAUI and if your clients and requirements satisfies with the technology, then what else? With one single knowledge person itself, you can develop three things, right? You can develop the backend stuff, you can that which will be serving for Android and which will be also serving for iOS. Okay, so these are the advantages of us as a developer and also as an organization perspective. Okay, so in a single code project itself, we can export our applications into multiple platforms, which I'll be showing you shortly. So this is a little bit introduction about what is .NET MAUI is. Okay, okay. MAUI, as I mentioned before, MAUI means multi-platform app UI, which is an open source platform framework. Using .NET MAUI, okay, we can build and deploy native iOS, Android, Mac OS, Mac Crystal, Tizen, and Windows applications from a single code base. And it's not a new thing, it's an evolution of Xamarin Forms. Many of you have used Xamarin or maybe familiar about what Xamarin is. It's a framework from the Microsoft to build mobile apps, right? So it's an evaluation of Xamarin Forms, which extended from mobile to desktop applications. By using Xamarin, we will be developing for only mobile apps, for like native Android and native iOS. But MAUI is an extended form where you can also build mobile app as well as a desktop applications as well. So it will be very easy if you already know or if you have a little bit exposure in Xamarin Forms. Okay, and that doesn't mean it's mandatory thing. Anything can be learned at any point, but it will be very easy for you. And even if you know C#, it is very easy. Okay, and .NET MAUI is for who? So basically, who can use the .NET MAUI? Developers who want to build cross-platform applications using C# and YAML from a single code base. So those who are the persons who can use .NET MAUI. A sorry, cross-platform to share the same UI layouts and design, which saves more time in design implementations. As I said, if you want to develop an application with a single code base, it will be a much time-consuming thing, and you can reuse the same designs, layouts, code base, and all. Okay, so that is also a main advantage of .NET MAUI. Across the platforms to apply the same business logic, code, and testing. So if you have developed something, you don't want to rewrite the logic for based on the system. Like for Android, this feature will not be working, so I have to rewrite this code like this. For iOS, this is not possible, so we have to rewrite this something like this. From so those kind of hurdles we will not be having. Okay. So what is the business document that can be used for the entire system? Now let's get started into .NET MAUI. Okay, so to build .NET MAUI, we need an IDE. So the IDE is Visual Studio 2022 or any latest version of Visual Studio is good to start. Okay, so Visual Studio is good enough, but in order to you need to build an iOS application or Android applications. Okay, you need two things. For Android, you need Android Studio, and for iOS, you need the Mac account, that is Mac developers account, as well as you need Xcode. Okay, so these are the basic requirements for developing a .NET MAUI application for desktop, Android application, and iOS applications. Okay, and a Mac that is compatible with the latest version of Xcode. Okay, and for this you can get the latest version you can get from the official Mac site, Xcode site. Okay, good. And in order to deploy, you need Apple developer program. Sorry, Apple developer account, which many of if you're familiar with iOS development, you will be familiar what it is. So you need Apple Store where you can you can submit your application. They will be reviewing it and they will be giving suggestions if required. And after their review, they will be keep our application in the Apple Store, App Store. Okay. So for that we need Apple developer account. Okay. So now let's get into the demo side. So already you may be having a Visual Studio 2022 or latest version of 2022 or a preview Visual Studio IDE. Okay, so you have to get in. So how to install in the sense you have to get into the installer, and if you come to the workloads tab, you can see uh, .NET multi-platform app UI development. Okay, under the desktop and mobile section. So you have to check this and you have to click and install one. So once you have installed successfully, okay, you have to restart the system, and then we can start building the .NET MAUI applications. So let me close this one for now. Okay, now let's come to the Visual Studio. Once you have opened the Visual Studio, okay, what we have to come here is we have to click create new project as like any project we have to. After successful installation of .NET MAUI, from this search, if you search as MAUI, okay, you will be getting three project templates. Okay, the first one is .NET MAUI app. Okay, second one is .NET MAUI Blazor app, and third one is .NET MAUI class library. Okay, so the first one comes with .NET MAUI app is built basically full based on the full and full YAML based ones. Okay, and second one is Blazor. Okay, for me, I'm not much familiar with YAML. I'm much familiar with Blazor because I am a pure .NET C# developer. So I'm much familiar with the Razor applications, Blazor applications. If you are like me, you can build applications using the Blazor app. Okay, and class library as like any .NET class library files, you can use it, and that library files can be used in the Android applications, iOS, and uh, Windows applications as well. So what type of applications we can build using these things? You can build a C# application, you can build Android application, you can build iOS, Mac Crystal, Mac OS, Tizen, Windows, and all. These kind of applications we can build. Okay. Before getting into a demo, I will show you a demo of application. A very simple application. I didn't code this much. All is coming from the basic template. Okay. Okay. So this Blazor MAUI application. Okay, this is built on Blazor application. That is .NET Blazor 1. Okay, uh, if you are familiar with Blazor, you will be knowing this is the default template which you can see as a web application. But here it is coming as a Windows application. Okay, and if you run this, export this as an, or else if you run in a Android Studio, then it will be the same UI will be shown in the mobile app as well. Okay, so unfortunately, this is my another PC, so I haven't installed my Android Studio properly here. So today I will be giving a quick demo how you can do this. But if you're interested, you can learn it from my blog, where I have given a demo applications. Okay, I'll be sharing this link very shortly in this chat. Okay? So if you run your Android application, this is how the UI looks like. Okay. So as like any Blazor normal template, they have given three tabs like home, counter, and fetch data. Okay. And if you come here and you can click all the things. So if you are very good familiar with Blazor, you will not be seeing that you are going to develop a mobile app or you are going to develop a Windows application. Or it will be very familiar that you are going to develop a web application and you are going to export the results in a mobile app or else as a Windows desktop app. Okay. So this is how a very basic demo app look like. Now let's get into our new application. So for now, first I'm going to take the Blazor application. Okay, I'm clicking next, and I'm going to, okay, Blazor 5. I'm going to give my project name as like this. I'm going to say, okay. And yeah, I'm going to choose my .NET framework as .NET 6 as for now. Okay. Okay. So the new project template has been opened in the Visual Studio. Okay. Before getting into all this, let's see what are the folder structures for the default project templates we have. And it doesn't mean that this is the folder structure we have, project architecture or project structure we have to follow. We can follow our own patterns as like what we used to do for a real-time applications, right? We will be having a code separation, we will be having a service, we will be having interface, lot and lot differences. So that and all we can also implement here. Okay. Okay. So if you have any dependencies or things and all, that will be shown up here. Okay. And by default, it will be coming with the pre-installed required dependencies like for Android, iOS, Mac OS, and Windows. Everything will be coming when we are creating the requirements. And you can also install your NuGet packages, for example, like AutoMapper, or else for some kind of things, right? We will be using DAPper and all some things and all. That and all you can also install. I mean, just for an example, I'm saying these are same. If you can for Blazor there are many packages are also available, UI packages are also available, right? That and all also you can install, and that can also be used. Okay. And these days many third party UI companies are also interested to give a customized frameworks for us as like web applications. We can use those packages to build a data interactive good feel applications. I mean UAs. Okay. This is the default project, and these independencies we can see all this. Okay. And very first thing is like if you come into the pages, if you are very familiar with a Blazor application, this is the same structure will be also here. You can see a razor, and you can also create a razor.cs files, that is the partial razor class files. And if you want to add more pages, you can also add from the pages thing. Okay. And yeah, if you are going to install any kind of packages, or we all will be importing in the import.razor things. So that is also the same here. Okay. And this is the uh, program.cs class file. Okay. And it will comes with the default font styles, how it will be looking like, and those and all we can do here. And if you want make any dependency injections and all, that and all also we can include here. That and all are very big, I mean little bit advanced concept that I don't want to cover here. Okay. And one thing which we can see here is, from apart from the any Blazor application, uh, we can see some platforms, right? So these are the platforms which the current applications supports. So those and all you can uh, make changes here. Say for example, for Android application, you want to import some specific theme, that you can uh, that you can configure here. And for iOS, if you have any special things and all, that and all also we can do here. Unfortunately, if you are using Windows system for developing iOS application, you can build partially here, but in order to run and all, you have to connect with your Mac system. That I have written another article that I will be sharing later at some point, where you can connect your Windows with Mac and export your data. You can see output there. Or else, if you have Mac system and without much worries, we don't want to worry, you can just run like any application. You can see the things and all them. Okay. And for Android, you can install okay, so that's the thing. Okay. um, yeah, so I was saying about how to export, right? iOS. So that you have to connect from your run option. If you come to the options, you can see that to run the iOS application, you can connect with iOS Mac machine. That is Mac machine. You can connect as a intranet and you can work, or else you can install iOS simulator, or else you can connect with iOS mobile, and you can do it. And for Android, there are emulators are available. Okay. For this, I have installed this one, but it is not working fine because of some corruptions. Okay. If you know very familiar, you can. I think I have written somewhere in this article how to install the Android things and all. I will share the link later. So you what you have to do is you have to install the Android Studio, and you have to choose the API. Um, yeah, Android API. There are many API versions like 28, 29. Likewise, it will be going. So you have to choose that version. I always used to prefer the latest API version. Okay, and yeah, for Windows device, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is just make choose as Windows machine in order to get started with running. Okay, and as like any Blazor application, index.razor is the default page. Okay, so here whatever you want, and make any changes. Okay, and now let's already my okay. This is currently installed version. That is, once I have created a Blazor application, once we have created a MAUI application, it will be stored in the system. So this is something which is running as a exe file, doesn't mean that which means I am not running the application. It's already Windows application is running there. Okay. Installed version. Okay. Okay. One thing which we have to make sure is, okay, you have to turn on the developer mode on. Okay, if you're turning off, okay, you can't do it. This is mainly the since we are developing the Windows based applications, what we have to do is we have to turn it on. That's why once the application is prepared and on the first go, okay, it will be automatically installed into our system. So that's why we have to turn on the developer mode on the. So, okay, what we have to do is we have to just search as developer settings, and this will be coming to here. And for this, for mainly for the web, sorry, desktop application developers, where you do your required configurations and all. Okay. So already I have many Blazor applications installed. So for this, this is the one which I have installed before. You can run it as an administrator. You can pin it. You can pin in your task tab or as in your start button, uh, task icon anywhere as like which. So it will be running as a normal Windows. Sorry, it will running as a normal application. Okay. So each and every time we don't want to get into the Visual Studio and to run, it will be as a proper installed application. Okay. Now let's run this one. All we have to do is just we can click F5 in the keyboard, or else we can click the run button. Okay. Or for the first time, the application will be taking a little bit time. And if you are using Android, definitely you should have very good configuration of configurations, because uh, only if you have very good configuration, the Android applications will be running smoothly. For me, it is taking longer time because of my current system configurations. That is, you need very good RAM, and that's what I mean. See, if you look into here, by default itself, it has created a exe file. based on the project name. Hello. Yes. See, we get the project name as what we have given here, and you can see what are the changes we have made here. And in as Blazor, index.razor is the home page, so that page came here. We can also configure the required pages. What say, for example, if I'm going to make some changes like fetch data is my home page, then I can make changes in that import and out. So that will be coming here. Okay. You can see here, and also fetch data. Okay. Now I'm going to close this application, and now I'm not going to run this application. Okay. Now I come to the start button, and if I go to the Pune, you can see by default the application has been installed. Okay. Now I'm going to click this. See, it changes. Even if you are not running the application, it was get installed. And if you make any changes and if you run it again, the changes will be automatically updated into that exe file. And if you want to install this application into another machine, all you have to just copy that exe from the source and you can install into the other devices, Windows devices. So much easy, right? You can develop your Windows applications and you don't need to do export and all will be taken care by the uh, .NET framework itself. Okay, so now we have seen about the Blazor, right? Developing using Blazor. See, if you are much familiar with .NET or C# code, then all you can do with the uh, yeah, in the code session you can write all your business required, or else you can create a partial class which will be separating your UI code and your business, that is C# code and all. Okay, likewise we can give, and counter is the what the component name. So if you are creating a new component, you can give it the name and you have to give your new component name here and all. So this will be very easy. I mean, this will be much understandable those who have worked in the Blazor thing. And here we are writing our UA things. Okay. On button click, we are going to call this method increment count, and that increment count is written in a C#. So this is very easy thing. We don't want to put lot of efforts and all. We, so which will be very easy for a developer to develop your application. It's very time consuming and you don't want to learn multiple tech stacks in order to run your application, right? Yeah. Now let's see how to create a .NET MAUI application using YAML. So again, we have to come here. We have to click a new project. And again, I am coming here. You can also search from here, or else you can search as MAUI. And yeah, we have to choose .NET MAUI app. And it also has the default framework support and all. And very good news is that Microsoft is very keen in improving the .NET MAUI framework. As like it it will be evolving one by one. When Blazor came, it came as a very basic thing, and then it got evolved as like now as like Blazor, the MAUI will also be getting much usable, user friendly, very long time support from upcoming .NET releases, .NET 8, and they have very. If you look into their YouTube channel, they will be keep posting about what MAUI is and all, how we are going to. So it will be very useful for us as a developer. Yeah. And now let's see into the default project structure for the YAML application. So it also has the dependencies where you can see as like the Android, iOS and all. And this one also has the platforms and all. But what we don't have here, as like Blazor, we don't have that what share post, that is a shared www.root or else pages. We don't have any data related things and all. We don't have here. All will be as a YAML things and all. And if you are much familiar, I mean, if you have very good knowledge in the uh, Xamarin Forms, then this will be very easy for you. I don't have much knowledge in the Xamarin and all. Basically, I'm used to develop with web applications and all. So I used to prefer only Blazor. If you're already an existing mobile app developer or you know much knowledge in the YAML and all, this will be very easy for you. I think the WPF also follows the same pattern. So for those, this will be very uh, easy thing and all. And here, by default itself, the code will be get separated. So the UI things will be in the YAML, and the business logic will be in the YAML.cs. But whereas in Blazor application, we have to create a partial class with the controller name, and we have to move manually our code separations and all. Okay. Okay. Now let's run this application, and this will also give the same output as like what we saw in the Blazor application, as like in Blazor application. I have seen many community forums like they are saying that my application is taking longer time to execute. Why MAUI is too slow and all. So as I said, you need a very good configuration, because in a single code base itself you are going to do multiple things. So you need, and I mean, if you're running an Android application, you will be using the Android Studio, you will be using Visual Studio, and if you are connecting with your any APIs and DBs, all the things will be opened up. So all we need is a very good system configuration. If you have very good configuration, the system will I mean the development environment will be working faster. That doesn't mean that MAUI framework is taking more time. Okay, this is the default UI uh, for the applications which we have built using YAML, and I am clicking the buttons. It will be getting the count will be getting incremented. Okay, and I'm going to close this application, and now I'm going to search as Pune. Yeah, see, an application has been installed. That's because we have enabled the developer mode. So now the application is not running. Sorry. If you look into the background, the we are not running our current application. It is getting okay. And this is also similar for the Android as well. It will be getting installed automatically once you disconnected from the Visual Studio. Even if you open your application, you will be able to see it. Okay. And yes, I think that is much I want to cover, and it has very good option as hot reload. So with your code changes, if you click hot reload, the changes will be automatically reflected in the applications that we are building. So I hope I gave a little bit introduction about .NET MAUI, and I hope this will be very useful for you to get started with .NET MAUI applications. If you have any queries, you can shoot me here, or else you can reach me out to my uh, social media handles, or you can ask in the chat.